She's playing with that light again. Special night for the Nixus podcast. Sarah, haunted photography in the house. How you
Thank
doing, girl?
you.
Amanda K, Southern Rituals with me.
Hello.
We're here to talk about Blue Ridge.
There
Oh, famous Blue Ridge Festival this year.
could probably be a whole book on it.
It's crazy. If anybody would like to hop on and come and sit down and talk with us, we're not here to shit on the festival. We're here to hear about people that were actually there. Because I've heard a lot of rumors, and you know how rumors go. It's, you know.
Yeah.
So Sarah was there with a few people. Who was
Yeah.
with you over there?
My daughter, we took her for her 13th birthday celebration, and her bio dad, Justin. We all three went. Um, we traveled 4 hours roughly, and we stayed about an hour away out in Lynchburg, and drove an hour to the festival every day. But it was an experience for sure. Uh, I uh, had fun, other than us getting cut short.
Yeah.
That first day, and it was so hot, I was kind of glad to see the rain. And then it came, and it came hard.
Yeah, that first day was brutal. Like, campgrounds were completely broken, flooded, and lucky for you guys,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were at a
that's
hotel. But unlucky is that you had to catch those shuttles.
the shuttle was a mess, which I found out after about an hour and a half in line that it was due to what had happened on the campgrounds. Why shuttles were taking so long. People were having to be hauled out, and uh, people do take shuttles to their campgrounds, and they couldn't get into the campgrounds. I heard that a tornado hit, uh, which from the aftermath of everything, we had 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Oof, that's you
That's
know,
nuts.
they're weird. They had no cover, and even the people that had cover, they had like tents. They had like,
It was coming in at all angles. That first one was just a really cold rain, and then the everything broke. We had a double rainbow. I'm like, that double rainbow was here to fuck us. All right. And no sooner did I point that out, here comes the hail. And people that didn't have VIP like us had to make resource for shelter. It was grabbing my daughter and running into a porta potty for 20 to 30 minutes, and a multitude of people did the same thing. But her dad was out there with a bunch of people under the trees, and it was huge. It's like the size of
That's
my
crazy.
thumbnail. So to say that they wasn't prepared in a way for extreme weather, they wasn't. VIP was fine, but after everything lifted, they're like, you gotta go. So I reckon that Coheed and Cambria had started taking the stage, and then that hit, and the lightning fried some of their equipment.
Yeah, I heard that that's where it all started going to shit weather wise anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
the heat was brutal. There was two watering stations, one marked and one unmarked, and a lot of people have got giardia from the water. They're saying that it was unsanitary water. I know numerous people that was really sick after that, and they tested for it. Luckily, we did not, because I am such a picky water drinker that I spent about $300 in water that that time.
I heard that just the water bottle was
five
pretty.
dollars.
Did you eat anything?
I don't eat in the heat, because when I'm
Right.
moving around with my camera, I
Yeah.
get sick. Any show I go to, if it's outside, I don't eat. Um, I know Justin went to one of the hibachi places he was going to eat, and the food was sitting under a heat lamp, and he said it looked like it'd been there all day. He's like, no. And for like a little plate about that big was $15.
Oof.
He's like, we had hotel breakfast bigger than that.
Mhm.
So, and plus it had been sitting out. He's like, that's just asking for food poisoning.
Yeah, yeah.
But the prices were ridiculous. Like I said, $5 for water. For a tall bottle of Michelob was 10. I was not drinking alcohol because heat,
Yeah.
and I've got that expensive camera. But they had like when we went in 2021, the prices was $2 for a bottle of water, and they was even giving water away by the end of the day. And a beer was $4.
See, that's more what you're expecting out of a festival. That's
Yeah,
the prices. I mean, I'll go even up to $3 for a bottle of water.
yeah.
I heard up to $10 for a bottle of water at Blue Ridge. Um,
We only paid 5, and I also heard some people got double charged. Like food vendors was card only, no cash. And I had gotten such the habit of all these shows I went to being cash. I took cash. So, um, it was mainly Justin with his card. And I told him, I'm like, people have got double charged for single purchases. You need to go check. I've not heard anything back on that yet. I know what some people have said. Um, but I really do think that it was ridiculous in that heat to be charging people who have paid, over $1,000 to be there, and closer to two if they were camping. Uh, it was extreme, and it's kind of taken advantage of the situation. I know we have had a dry summer up here in Virginia, and the heat just got 105 degrees on Thursday.
but isn't this like every year? Like, is it like, okay, there's exceptional years where it's worse, but isn't this like a period where it is hot, where you guys have hurricanes, where you guys, so why, you know, that's another thing that's amiss. Why not put the festival when it's not during this period of time where people are extremely too hot, or,
I thought October would be perfect.
yes.
We're not burning up. We can handle the cold a lot better than we can the heat. Because there's only, well, at Blue Ridge, there is no limit to how much clothes you can take off. But um, I ended up going and buying a crop top because the shirt that I had on was too hot. I bought my daughter a crop top, which is something I never thought I'd do. But she just had on like a tank top and a pair of jeans where she had everybody sign her clothes. She ended up in the medical tent 3 times that day.
From the
And
heat.
yes, yeah, because I did get her to drink water. As I told you, she had that food anxiety
Yeah.
away from home. I did get her to drink water, and she would eat before we left. Uh, but the heat, it just wiped her out. She was burnt really bad, even though we applied sunscreen like 15 times. And I thought Justin was having a heat stroke. I drug a medic over there, and I'm like, you need to check him out. He's lethargic. He has not used the bathroom. And he's like, well, that's everybody today. And I'm like, do your job. Okay. Y'all are in the cool. And I don't know. I missed seeing the Ghost Inside, which was one of my big bands that I wanted to see and shoot. But they're going to come first. Um, it was bad, and people had no way to get out of the heat unless they ran into a medical tent. And it got to the point where they're like, "What are you in here for?" Because people were just coming in there to cool off and didn't have an actual medical problem.
Yeah.
People with actual medical problems was out there, like nowhere near the tents.
So it'd be
We,
good to put like cooling stations.
yeah, they need to, or at least like,
Or like we said, put in October where it's cooler.
yeah, yeah, in October would be ideal. And if it does happen next year, I hope somebody throws that idea. at Jonathan. Um, I know these festivals are expensive to put on. I know you pay a lot of money to make it happen. You just need to make it happen when everybody's not going to have a heat stroke.
Yeah.
Because I did run into one case of heat stroke, um, and had to grab security to get medic while Upon a Burning Body was playing, and that was third show of the day on Friday.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I would be going next year. Like I didn't even go this year, and I don't think I'll be going next year if they have one. Um,
Um, yeah, I'm looking at Louder Than Life. I would go from a photography
yeah,
point to shoot the shows, but also media. Like, we had a small period of time where it looked like we had a storm moving in, and about 30 minutes before Flyleaf took the stage, they told a media to evacuate. They told them, "Go on, we're going to get a storm." And I reckon that a few people stayed on grounds and got some really good shots. Um, I wasn't official media, but I took my camera and security didn't stop me. And media told me, I'm like, I've still got stuff to do. And they're like, well, you can bring in whatever security will let you buy with. Security didn't really check bags. And I mean, I walked in with a 400 millimeter lens and they said nothing. They wasn't on top of their game. They would check the buses for fireworks. And I'm like, who's bringing fireworks?
no, and I've heard somebody overdosed in one of the campgrounds.
I
Um,
hadn't heard that one.
I was hoping that the person that told me that would be here tonight. But yes, supposedly somebody, rumors, like I said, I was hoping to have this show with these people to kind of squash the rumors. And now it's like, oh, well, she told me if she'd be here and she'd be backing up her, what she was saying, it would be one thing. But right now, maybe it's a bad night for people to be here. Maybe it's just bad timing. Maybe people don't want to talk on camera. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I don't care to because, like I said, I didn't get the brunt end of all the bad. You know, some things wasn't great, but I do know from firsthand what people told me, and I'm not going to embellish or exaggerate a story.
exactly, yeah.
Like the bands not having their campgrounds where they're supposed to, or having catering and
Yeah.
paying so much money to come play and not be reimbursed. Contracts aren't fulfilled. What are you going to do?
Well, for people listening that don't know how this works, for indie bands, we're not talking about the big bands. The big
Yeah.
bands, I mean, they want them
Like,
here. They For the bands that are trying to get their names out there, first of all, you pay to submit your music. I've heard that some people didn't even hear back from them. Not even a no, not even a nothing.
yeah.
Um, I think it was $75 for the submission, and like I said, some people didn't even get a no.
Yeah.
Not even bothered. Um,
That's ridiculous. You need to, if somebody's paying you, you need to at least have the courtesy to be like, hey, sorry, you didn't make the cut this year.
as an artist myself, I mean that's a slap in the face, you know.
It is. Well, that is photography as well. I waited around, and all my friends were getting their yes and no messages. And I had to reach out, and I'm like, this is haunted photography. I would like to know where I stand. And they're like, right now, we don't have a position open that you could fulfill, but stay on secondary backup because if somebody drops out, we'll holler at you. And I'm like, okay. It sucks that I had to reach out to them to get my answer.
I got mine really late, and it said just no, we don't want you. Um,
Wow.
awesome. At least I got an answer.
Yeah.
I mean, it also we've only been doing this for 9 months. We've only been so and it's podcast. It's not photography. It's not
Yeah, video.
we're
I
just
understand.
giving it a chance. But
That was my thing.
let's talk about the good because there has to be some good moments.
There was great moments. You know, uh, like I said, we took my daughter to celebrate her 13th birthday. She made a sign that said, "Sign my shirt." And she was filled up within the first 30 minutes of us being there. She had a blast. And that is the most important thing. When you go to festivals like this, you don't meet a stranger. Even if you don't know them, they're not going to treat you like a stranger. It's like one big, massive family reunion.
Yep.
And everybody's kind. And the shows we did get to see was amazing. All the bands, even in that heat, came out and they gave 110%. You know, Sleep Token and Lorna Shore was big ones for me. Evanescence was, and I didn't get to see them. And Born of Osiris, they put on an amazing show. Will Ramos from Lorna Shore snuck out into the crowd at Sleep Token,
Yep.
and he was living his best life. And
Absolutely.
Knocked Loose, he was there for that too. And I saw somebody really skinny running across the field, and I'm like, "Are you on drugs to have that energy in this heat?" But it was real.
I mean, Will is a big fan of Sleep Token. You could see a lot of his videos where he's covering.
He does such a good job on hypnosis.
Yes, mine is his vocals for Chokehold.
Yeah, no, he's great, and I'd love to see Sleep Token and Lorna Shore go on tour together. I don't care where I have to travel, I'd go see it.
Let's
It's just,
see.
they are very private. Uh, they don't have crowd interaction. They keep it solely about the music.
Well, here's Will over there enjoying it.
Yeah. Oh, look at that baby. He was so happy.
I mean, it's so nice to see other artists like them like hype each other up. Like,
Yes. I love seeing other artists be there for other artists. And that's what I enjoy so much about our small shows is, everybody usually will hang around to support everyone else. And like the smaller shows, I'm not a country person. I don't like it. But Oliver Anthony had the biggest crowd I have ever seen. It was close to being as big as the Mice and Men crowd. And I'm like, wow, who is this dude?
country is her thing. That's her music.
Yeah. But he did good. I mean, he's got a good voice. And from everything I've seen and heard since then, a good heart and a good soul. But it's just not my thing. Uh, but he had a crowd. And Starbenders, they're from Georgia. They didn't have as big of a crowd, but they were definitely worth the listen. My daughter fell in love with them, and I'm pretty sure that's all she listens to now.
All right, there you go.
They had a very 80s vibe about them. Um, they were just the music, the way they dressed, their makeup, their stage presence. I'm like, time warp? Because um, there, like I said, there was very, very low moments, but there was also very good moments. Um, just having her there and being a part and bonding with her, that was a big thing for me. And for us to bond over music, that is what brings us close. Because now she listens to Sleep Token, where she used to give me complete crap about it.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she's like, "Mom, you've got a problem." And I'm like, "Well, if you just listen, you'd understand." And she saw Motionless in White for the second time because she saw them in 2021. That was my third time. And they put on a phenomenal show, but they have pulled everything related to Blue Ridge off of their social media.
Oh, that's a statement.
That is, I've heard a few other bands. I've not had time to look into it. Um, you know, a lot of them are disassociating themselves from Blue Ridge because of how everything popped off and what happened. And at the end of the day, I'm 80% sure that it was not the weather that knocked us out of the rest of the weekend.
I don't think so. They didn't have any staff. That's what we saw. That's what other people reported, is that the staff just walked and left. They
They
had
weren't
no
getting,
food, no shower, no water, nothing.
yeah, and if their demands wasn't met by a certain time, when that certain time rolled around, we got our cancellation for the rest of the weekend with a heavy heart.
Yeah, everybody walked away. They warned them.
I
You
don't
can't
blame them.
you can't expect people to work in shit condition
No,
and then beg to get paid. I've seen a post. I've seen a lady that worked there as a runner for them, and a week and a half later she still hadn't gotten paid. You
no,
can't you can't do that to people.
no. I get that it's stressful, but when you work in this kind of field, you need to be able to rebound back from
Yeah,
your stress and deal with it.
absolutely. So this is a band. This is a band that I really love, that you got to take pictures of. Stitched Up
Yes,
Hearts. How was the show? How was
it was amazing. I love seeing Stitched Up art. I've seen them multiple times. Um, I saw them on tour with Hellstorm and In This Moment New Year's Day. I saw them again at Blue Ridge 2021 and this. They they kill it every time they come out on stage. Mixie's incredible. Her vocals just blow my mind.
she is she is.
They conduct such a crowd presence that I don't know. You just feel like you're a part of it.
Oh, little chicken nuggets crying.
Baby. But
But
there, have you
no,
seen them in concert?
I have not seen Stitched Up Heart yet.
They're on tour right now. If I had more time, I would love to see them, but with two kids in school and Travis works, 70 hours a week,
Yeah,
um, no time.
I have three of those things in school. And here's Will. Here's Lord
Oh,
Mazur.
yes. So I was so far back. I mean, I didn't get a lot of great shots like I would have loved to.
You could see, like, hold on a second, guys. Let me put it back up. You could see how far you were, but still some pretty amazing shots for.
Yeah, to be, far, far back, yes.
Well, you see, like this one, the quality's still there. You're not too,
In
Uh,
it.
of course you want to zoom in. Of course you want it from up close. It's
I
fucking Will.
know. He's
But
so beautiful. And where I was at the angle, I was off to the side. I wasn't directly in the back. Uh, like I said, not being official media, but they okayed. They're like, whatever security will let you buy with. And I've got a little bit of hate from like three photographers. They're
I
so good.
mean, listen, you got these shots from far away. You know what I mean? Like, and if people can't take it that you fucking got these shots, I mean, sorry guys.
Now, somebody had the balls to say they look like those done on a really crappy cell phone.
Okay. I mean, you didn't get a chance to be like right there in front of the.
Yeah, I wasn't where you was. And they're like, well, it was blatant disrespect. I'm like, listen, I've still got stuff I've got to get done.
That's not disrespect. You do you, they do them.
I'm not out there to take their slot. I didn't receive money. This is building my portfolio because this is what I want to do. I love our small shows, but I also want to shoot the big shows. And,
Absolutely.
you
And of
know,
course, you guys are going to see these shots in the magazine for this
yay.
month. That will be out a little like the one last month. It's going to be out late. A lot is going on. Ames, my co-host, is just moved. She was moving, so she's all over the place. I'm all over the place. I have a lot of stuff going on back home, but
Yeah,
it's going to be out. I promise, guys. We're working on it. Motionless in White. I heard that Chris was very, very touched.
he was. He, when everybody lit up the crowd with their phones, he couldn't even speak. He's like, I can't even sing right now. Uh, he They are one of my favorite bands. I've got like 6 band shirts from them. I've seen them 3 times. Um, that was my obsession before Sleep Token. But no, they put on a show, a full out show. Um, like you feel every bit of it, and like Masterpiece, I cried like a baby. My son loves that song, so I had to hold it together and record it for him. And he had such high hopes for certain songs from Sleep Token, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Hi.
Hey, Robert, we're just talking about Blue Ridge. The good, the bad. Just personal experience that Sarah had while being there. Other people were supposed to be here to share their experience. They are not here. So, any other things that are being said is only hearsay and rumors.
Yes,
Whatever comes out of Sarah's mouth, well, she was there. So, that's her experience, and nobody can take it away from her. You good with me showing crowd pictures? Because I know your
yeah,
daughter's in there, so I just want to make
that's
sure that we're
fun.
good. All right.
Yeah, I sent them to you for a reason.
So there it is. Sign my shirt. So she got her shirt signed in 30 minutes.
It even moved down to her pants and on her arms.
Very nice.
The first time we walked in the medic tent, they were like, "What are you in here for?" Oh, wait, you're the Sign My Girl shirt. Come on. Or Sign My Shirt Girl.
There's some
Bacon.
bacon.
A
Oh, there we
flock of
go.
flamingos.
All right, all right. I think I think that's the thing about Blue Ridge is the connection, like you said. It's the people. It's the.
Yes. Festival Santa. He goes hard
There you
at
go.
all the festivals.
You can see her shirt now. It's filling
Covered.
up. It's yeah. See, look at the crowd. Like people are happy. People are, uh, you know,
Oh, yeah, they were having a full on blast. I
behind.
love how everybody dresses up.
Yes. I think behind the scene is where thing got messy.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't get to hear. That's what we don't get to see. Uh, but treating your staff like that is not okay.
No, it's not. And I mean, I don't blame them. You know, a bunch of us went without, our shows, but these people were going out without food, without showers, without breaks. So I don't blame them. It wasn't fair and to be treated that way because they say that when you come to work, you stay on site and you pay off your ticket through work. That's what I've been told. Um, so if you're staying on site and you can't shower and you don't have time to get food, what else are you going to do in extreme heat like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be walking around without a shower
No. Me neither.
or food.
Me neither. And they need drinks. They need it. It wasn't okay. Like for the staff, it wasn't okay. I understand how people are disappointed. I don't like the music's supposed to bring people together, and what this festival is doing right now is splitting up a solid line in the middle of two crowds.
Yes.
Um, the fuck Blue Ridge crowd and the oh I love Blue Ridge. You guys are just a bunch of piss ass crybaby. Like,
Yeah.
and
And
then you
it's,
have the few in the middle that are
I,
like
I think that
not
I'm
here,
in the
not
middle.
there.
I had fun. I didn't get royally fucked like a lot of people. Um, so, I didn't have half the experience as campers did,
Yeah,
or the work staff, or even say some of the bands. They, like I said, you pay to play when you're a smaller band. And I'd even heard Electric Callboy. Have you seen the interview or the big talk that their manager did?
I seen it. I didn't have time to watch it all, but I've seen it. I've seen a few. Um, did you watch that one?
Yeah. Yeah. I reckon they didn't have air conditioning in their dressing room. There was no catering. They was supposed to bring a fan and never did. They didn't have tie downs when it came time for the flatbed to deliver their amp stacks and all their equipment. And they're like, "Oh, just throw some people up in there to hold it." He said about 10 minutes later, he got signal over radio, and it's like, we need a medic because security guards like got crushed. Tie
Wow.
downs for that expensive equipment, and I reckon they ended up getting like a backhoe or a bulldozer or something to haul the equipment the rest of the way. And down here in Virginia, we got that bumpy terrain, and it's just like, so you don't know what kind of damage is going to happen on that trek. And they went on stage late. They said they didn't have time lineups correct. It's which I know when Tillman pulled out, they switched some things around, and maybe they wasn't notified. Uh, he said that they wasn't good about keeping contact once they got there. He felt like none of their inquiries went through, and but I reckon it fell apart once they got there. And they said all the bands was sitting outside because nobody had air conditioning.
Wow. That's completely crazy. I have a Surprise Radio that messaged me earlier, and he did an interview with Heartsick,
Uh huh.
and they were talking about Blue Ridge and stuff. So if you guys want to head to YouTube, you can catch that one. I'm not gonna talk about anything that's going on in the interview because I don't want to misquote. I haven't written anything down, so if you want more information, just go to his YouTube and check it out.
Yeah. No, they was really good. I sent them their images, and they loved them. They're, I told them, I'm like, I wasn't official media. I want to disclose this. They're like, fuck that, you're official. I'm like, oh. And then
That's
Flyleaf and
awesome.
Mice of Men loved my stuff. Flyleaf used it. So that was a big one too, just because I was listening to them when I was 15 and 16.
Yep,
Uh, it's, I don't have that religious tie, but I fully enjoyed her music.
I mean the music is written loosely enough that yeah, you could pretty much hear that it's Christian rock, but you can also interpret it in many other different ways. That it doesn't have to be Christian. So I fully
Yeah.
support that. The first time I saw Flyleaf, I did not know it was Christian rock, and then somebody pointed it out to me, and I was like, "Oh damn! Oh
I didn't
well."
realize it until the Memento Mori album. It came out when I was not, no, I was still 18 when it came out. And I'm like, this sounds a little Christian-y. Um, but like her vocals kind of just always blew me out of the water. To be so tiny and so small.
Right?
Yeah,
She's
I
like
mean
so.
she's not what she used to be, but she's still good.
Oh, she is for sure. I am in a group. I'm not gonna name the group on Facebook that speaks about Blue Ridge. I mean, a lot of people are trying to dispute their tickets. A lot of people are trying to get money back from Cash App and Chime and their bank accounts and stuff.
Oh
And
my.
everybody's being told no, basically. So
Mm. Well, I had talked to Justin 2 days ago, and he's like, I've not heard anything about a refund. And uh, I'm like, well, you're gonna have to keep on them, and I stay in the groups and I keep updates, and I'm like, let's see what comes of,
yeah,
because that's a lot of money for
it is.
four three or for 4 day passes for 3 people was pretty close. It was over $1,000, and then you tack on. We had a 5 night hotel stay, and that was about $550. We ended up leaving early, so he got some money back. Uh, we left out on Saturday after they canceled everything, and I was talking to one of my friends that was staying on the campground, and she's like, "There's not been a drop of rain all day," and I'm like, "This ain't a weather thing, is it?" And she had told me that she had been talking to vendors, how unhappy they were, and about their situations that they were staying in. And, a lot of people lost a lot of stuff during that storm.
Yeah,
and you can't replace that stuff. Like, I'm sure you can, but you're going to lose money value.
Absolutely. And now there's no way to prove what you brought in.
Not unless that you know, well, I know people take inventory of everything they bring in, and as it's bought, it's checked off. But you aren't going to be able to be like, hey, I lost this due to the storm. Because they'll be like, oh, well, maybe, maybe not.
Well, that Blue Ridge has been covered all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, all over the place. News outlets and everything. This is not just, this is not just what it's been for the past years. I haven't been in the States this whole time. She has, and she
Have
says
you?
that she hasn't heard the previous year about this blowout.
No.
No. Did you ever attend Blue Ridge beforehand?
No, but I feel like as loud as everybody has been about it this year, I would have heard about it in prior years. If last year was just as bad, if not borderline just as bad, I would have still heard about it. Somebody would have been bitching about it to the point where I would have heard about it. I keep up with news, I keep up with daily events. So, and it's not like we've only been in the community since we wanted to go to Blue Ridge last year.
Yeah.
And so it's not like it's just been this year that we've been all excited about Blue Ridge. We didn't hear anything bad last year, other than little nitpicky things that everybody deals with in the summertime. Like, it's hot. People are like it. People are just bothered because it's summer and they're in the middle of the heat.
Yeah, but like we said, if they did it in October, it would be smart.
Yeah.
It's not hurricane season, and it's not fucking hot.
It doesn't make sense.
Not as hot.
It's almost like the universe was like, haha, bitch. Because literally, you thought you were going to come out here in the middle of a field with overpopulated festival, because way oversold, past what they could handle. And they were like, okay, well, you know that the universe is already upset about all these festivals going on in general, and y'all are going to come out here in the middle of nowhere and make a bunch of mess. And then last year it didn't get cleaned up properly. You cannot have 100,000 people in one setting and expect to leave no remnants of 100,000 people in one setting.
That's right.
You can't. And at this point, we should be learning. We should be knowing that these things are going to happen. If you have a festival in the middle of hurricane season, you damn well better be prepared for whatever could occur. Because you don't know. We're in the middle of a climate crisis. We don't have a clue what's going to happen from one day to the next. You cannot read the 2023 almanac and know what's going to happen at the end of the week anymore. Farmer John down the street does not know whether it's going to come a damn tornado or not. We don't know. So just be prepared for what could happen, even if it doesn't. When you have to accommodate 100,000 people, you need to be prepared to accommodate 100,000 people in the event of a crisis. And if there's only one entrant, if there's only one way in and one way out, the logic in me just cannot wrap my head around having one way in and one way out of 1,000 acres.
God.
It just doesn't make sense.
No. There was only one way in and one way out, and it was a disaster.
You can't have one way in and one way out with 100,000 people.
No, that results.
There needs to be emergency exits.
Yeah, there was one emergency exit available for people leaving in an ambulance, and that was it. And I reckon we got out earlier than a lot of people that first night. Like I said, we had a 4-hour wait. There was people that had a 6-hour wait, and we had medics and ambulances, Lord, come, and I think 6 or 7 the whole time we stood there. And I reckon it got worse through the night. People was giving out because of the storm, because of health conditions. I heard people complaining about ADA. Uh, they was supposed to have easy accessible uh, uh, areas for them to get to and from stages, and they didn't. And that was like the big thing they covered was we've got all this laid out for ADA, and they didn't have it.
I'm just playing some videos as we're talking. Like, this is the storm.
Yeah, no, that hail was ridiculous. It was scary, and like I couldn't imagine standing out in that. Like so many people did.
Like this
Like,
guy
like
that just walked
Jim
by.
Bob George, not Karen walking out.
Just smiling and walking like, oh, this is shit. This is life. Welcome to Blue Ridge.
Yeah, I mean that may as well be the opening scene. Welcome to Blue Ridge.
After the winter, what's up, my friend? We're just talking Blue Ridge Rock Fest for this year. I mean, there was a lot of coverage, like you guys could see all here.
Oh yeah,
It's all Blue Ridge coverage, like the news stations. Everybody is covering it. See, Blue Ridge Shit Show.
yeah,
A lot of people were not happy with what's going on. Like I said, everybody's experience is different. This was blown out of proportion. People are saying that people were setting shit on fire, and it was actually just people just making bonfires.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be taken out of context. Especially if you wasn't there. Um, to witness it firsthand. I don't know why people would go and make it more of it than it actually was because it's a lot by itself.
Didn't need to put anything more. Like, you can see the sky is this. Things got heavy that first day with the weather.
Yeah, no. No, we made the joke. Escape the Fate went on stage and they played We Brought the Flood. And I'm like, yeah, you did.
Yeah, they did bring the flood.
And that and the Double Rainbow.
Right, right.
Because I'm like, oh, that's supposed to be a good sign. Not today.
No, it brought you guys some hell and some one hell of a shit show.
Yeah.
What do you think about? I can't help myself but laughing. Let's put it on screen just because. With all the controversy going on right now, with everything going on. Should we
No.
be trying to sell tickets right now?
No.
Like,
Lord.
No.
Let's
No.
not even talk about it.
how in the hell did people already?
I'm just
No.
going to say this right now.
No.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are Jesus himself. You are stupid if you buy those tickets. You are flat out stupid. Until somebody comes out and says, we have made decent accommodations for you. There are multiple ways in and multiple ways out. We will have multiple lines of traffic for you to get in a decent amount of time. There will be lines properly established, just like effing Carowinds. We should be able to go, and there should be lines and proper single file exits and entrances. This is kindergarten preschool stuff. This is not rocket science.
No.
It shouldn't be this hard.
What also pisses me off is that I've realized, like, I've never been to Blue Ridge, right? So I never really looked at the prices. I never really looked at, and then I looked at the prices, and I was like, oh, there's price levels. What's the difference? Nothing.
No, it's
Nothing.
just when you buy your ticket, how early you buy your ticket, and if you want VIP or Rockstar, I think you get a lot more access to things if you do Rockstar.
So if you're a broke bitch and can't afford your tickets right now, you'll just end up paying more later. You broke bitch. Talking to myself. What's
Yeah.
up, Anger Overdose? We're just talking about Blue Ridge, the good, bad, the stupid.
Good, the bad, and the ugly, and the dumbasses
I
that are
mean,
still
this,
buying fucking tickets.
like, stop buying tickets before you know what's going on. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that's what I like and I respect about you is that you're like, okay, there was some good parts, there were some bad parts. Maybe I'll go again next year, but there's need to be changes.
I think the only way I would probably go is if I heard there was concrete changes
Yeah.
and, have shelter for the people that pay so much money to come in to see these shows. And I mean, people are taking vacation time. They are running up debt just so they can come and have a great time. People did this vacation time, they're not going to get back. Money, maybe, maybe not. Uh, so you need to have shelter. You need more water.
Yep.
And you don't need to charge so much for your food and water.
No, it's crazy.
You don't need to charge so much for a general admission.
No.
When general admission starts at $200 a pop,
Yep.
blue collar folks like me cannot attend. We don't get to go to stuff like that unless we get press passage, which is a rare occasion. We don't get to go because who the hell, unless you have a very nice paying job or you've saved because you know it's coming. You've saved to buy those tickets because you know it's coming. And the people that are buying those tickets right now are not blue collar folks. They are folks that are very well off and can throw $2,000 away and it doesn't hurt their pocket.
No. Unlike us.
And those people are the stupid dumbasses that I'm talking about that are literally just paying for Blue Ridge's fuck ups. You're paying for them to fuck up again.
Anger said, hey, I'm white collar and I can't afford it. You have kids, you have
either way. Like even and there's people like I'm sure that if they would make it decently affordable, you would go, Anger, and you would spend money at the festival. That's what they don't understand is that they would make more revenue if they would do it like little shows around here do it. Okay, charge $50 a person. Charge $50 a person for admission for a 4-day general pass. And on top of that, you've got local vendors, local businesses coming in. They're spending revenue. They're going to be you're going to charge them booth rent.
Yep.
There's more revenue right there. Then you got taco trucks, you got food trucks that are going to come in. You're going to spend money there. You're going to spend money at merch tables, and 90% of music festivals charge merch sales. So if you go and you spend $20 on a t-shirt, they're getting $10 of that. And that's if you're getting $20 t-shirts.
How much were the t-shirts over there?
A band t-shirt ran anywhere from like a Emotionless in White shirt that I could order offline for $25 ran $45, and a hoodie was I think about $85, which I expect in hoodies, but it was ridiculous.
Yeah, the greed and the selfishness of the owners, it shows.
Yeah, the tax. Because I try to just avoid, buying band shirts at shows because it's higher. Even when I go to a concert, it's like, I'm just going to get it off their website because it's going to be cheaper and I'm not going to have to wait in line. Because I go to the shows to not wait in line. I go to see the bands perform.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of money. Like I said,
that's why we like to go see our shows and our festivals.
Because I can see the bands that I want to see when I want to see them for $10 a person.
I know.
Was what, $20? $20 a pop for Bruce Stock?
$20.
I mean, we had an amazing night, and we didn't have to go sleep anywhere. We didn't, you know what I mean? Like, same thing for merch. The small bands, not the big,
Yeah, no.
It's $20 a t-shirt.
Yeah, I buy shirts. I try to get a shirt every time I go to a show. I got my Celadon Oath shirt the last show I saw at the grand final. And, $25. that is not bad for a shirt. Uh, I mean, I've paid anywhere from 15 to 25 when I've bought a shirt from our local shows because they're not there trying to rip you off.
Nope.
Is they're about the same level as we are financially. You know, nobody's out here making it big. We understand.
Yep.
And Blue Ridge is like, well, you could afford to pay all that money to come out and see us. You can also, pay that much more to
But this
buy.
is, it's getting a lot of exposure, and I'm hoping that the bands are gonna get something. Anger said the whole major music industry is a scam. I mean, the
Yeah.
whole people like to scam artists. Like I said, now, yeah, we're talking about us. The bands can't come and talk because they all sign non-disclosure agreements, so they can't say anything. They want their money back. Those
Yeah.
bands are paying. I don't know how much the bands are paying, and even if I wouldn't start disclosing about numbers, but they're paying. Even if it be $100, they're fucking paying. They
Well,
didn't get to play. Give them back
yeah,
their money.
yeah, I do know a band. I won't say it, but $2,500 to play. So
Like,
that's a lot of money.
that's just for not even to have played and probably get their equipment fucked up.
Yeah,
Like, not having any catering, not having any water, no good place to take a shower. It's all nasty and no.
no, and I heard that even the glamping sites got so messed up, their toilets didn't work. Them high end, really expensive tents you go stay in messed up really bad,
Yep.
and nothing was ever came out and fixed.
It is the real gatekeep, and even Sepsis was saying it's $75 just to fucking get them to pretend to listen to your music, because it doesn't fucking even mean they're listening. They
No,
don't like their look. They don't like your name. It's a no. You know what I mean? Like, and for Jonathan Sly to just fucking disappear.
yep. Which I'm sure that was a act. His lawyers made him do that.
Yeah, because he signed all kinds of damn paperwork saying that if anything went down, he wasn't responsible and that he could just fuck off. I'm sure. I'm sure all that fine print that everybody signs when you go to buy tickets and it says, click the agreement at the bottom. Do you agree to this? Yeah, I agree because I want them tickets, but you don't even read what the fuck you're agreeing to.
Yeah.
What I what I think is A, his lawyers. B, he can't talk because he doesn't know what to say.
No.
The only
And
thing he can say is, I'm
fucked up.
sorry. I fucked
Yeah.
up.
My bad.
yeah, I have. I actually, the therapist I go to, I see a doctor that used to work with Jonathan back when he was young and just doing Christian festivals, and he thought he had it all together back then. And Christian festivals, I don't imagine grow this out of proportion the way the metal community does.
Uh,
I
I've
don't.
seen I've seen an upward of 80,000 people at a Christian music festival.
Ugh.
And they're large stages and you are well taken care of.
Yeah.
it is
Well
not
taken
anger.
care of.
It is not the first time that the festival's been a clusterfuck. In 2021, the porter potty were exploding next to the campgrounds.
I don't know about the campgrounds, but I know in
Hey, angry man.
2021 we had no problem. And like last year, I saw, because I was going through the sad phases of not getting to go to Blue Ridge because of COVID, that the lines was a big problem. Like your shuttle stations and everything to get to and from, like the lines were ridiculous.
See, that just doesn't make sense. So y'all think that if y'all, that's what I don't understand is motherfuckers are buying these tickets and they didn't think, okay, well last year it took me forever to get in. This year it took me even longer to get in. So how about we think about this, Jonathan, Mr. Sly? How about we think about this? How about we think about that there's only this amount of people that can fit through here at a decent amount of time. We can only sell that amount of tickets.
Yeah. No, that, well, I'd sat in on a live, keeping up to date, and they were supposed to have a multitude of buses. Like, they had buses donated, they bought buses. They were supposed to have anywhere from 45 to 50 buses. And there was buses running to North Carolina and to Virginia, and then you had the orange bus and the blue bus, and you had to, if you're going to Virginia, get on the orange bus. And we thought maybe this is under wraps. Maybe they've got this federal situation fixed.
Yeah. Well, I heard 2021 there was like I'm reading up real quick. Festival goers say despite spending hundreds of dollars, there's no bathrooms or showers at campsites. I know also that the festival was held. I think it's 2021. Was held on another ground. It wasn't where it is right
Yeah,
now at VIR. It was at another place, and
yeah, I liked it a lot better.
he was half on the property on somebody's property though, without even asking. There's a lawsuit about that one.
I
So
didn't know.
you know, like there's been problems with Blue Ridge, and eh, I think it's being swept under the rug, and this time there's no hiding
It's
it.
not. No, and for them to be selling tickets like right now for next year, I'm like, once all is said and done, you ain't gonna be able to afford it. Because I know people are gonna be coming at them left and right with lawsuits.
Oh well, the if people are really getting sick from there, they're gonna get the water tested, and if it's proven that it's really from there, there's gonna be that lawsuit. Then there's gonna be another kind of, and then people are gonna. Some people got hurt. Some people's vehicles got damaged. Some people's it's gonna be.
There was a dead deer on somebody's car from the wind on the roof of their car. Somebody lost their back glass. A kind passing stranger was nice enough to cover it with plastic and duct tape it up and post it on the page. Like, hey, if this was your car, your back glass got knocked out by a tree branch.
That's crazy. Like, and I know that for that, there's nothing. There's nothing they can do about it. Let's do an
Yeah,
AOD fest instead. There's, let's do it. There's other festivals. Now there's Louder Than Life,
yeah,
um, which is a very successful festival also, and I've never heard any. And I've did my research because
yeah,
now I'm like, oh, okay, here's another festival, and
yeah.
it's
No, I've not heard anything like this with incarceration or
no.
Louder Than Life or any of the other festivals. And I'm like, Lord, are we so backwards here in Virginia we can't even pull a festival off?
I
I
mean,
know it's hillbilly country, but it ain't that bad.
it's lack of preparation.
Yeah,
It's like I don't think Jonathan should be doing this by himself. Worst case, he's needing more people around him. But
no.
I know that a lot of people have tried to work with him and they can't work with him. I know that, and sometimes, well, you're good at
Yeah,
one thing doesn't mean that you're gonna be good at that same thing or other. So
yeah. Uh, he needs a whole new crew to help him manage if he thinks that he's going to pull this year off.
yeah,
And people need to take him aside and be like, don't make promises you aren't going to be able to keep. Because we was told there'd be more water refill stations, you know, more buses. Like I told you before we hopped on here, our bus was trying to break down day one on the way out. We've done talk about that. Um, but, if you're going to get buses, make sure they run well.
yeah,
Uh, don't have your passengers worrying that they're going to get, halfway out and break down.
and
And
have enough buses.
huh? Yeah.
Have
And not
enough
enough
buses.
buses, which I heard bus drivers was quitting the first day too.
I mean, I can't blame them. And I did see the plates that they got when they did get food. And it's this tiny little thing of like eggs and maybe one little link of sausage. And it was ridiculous. You can't.
Over peppered chicken. It
you,
looked awful. Uh,
You
You
can't
know,
expect people to work and then not feed them, not give them sanitary place to be and
no,
live, and it's you can't do that to people.
no. And if their tent blew off, you need to provide them with another one. You know, people lost tents. People packed it in, not one or not two. I guess if you were camping, that was day two for you. Um, you know, people just had to leave
Yep. A lot of
because,
people just left.
yeah,
We don't have a tent anymore. We don't have a this anymore. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of them, and it's you
yeah,
know it's
no,
crazy.
it was. You can go turn it off. Um,
It is all
yeah,
about
it's
the
about
money.
money, and you think if you have the bottom knob, the money to blow on this type of festival, you would have money to spend on your employees.
I I
We had
wish. I
we had nice
wish.
food vendors. Like I said, I didn't eat, but they had really nice places that they could have got them their lunches and not whatever the hell that was. I don't know
Yeah,
what that was.
I saw something about like $66 for two pizzas or some shit like that,
Yeah,
and it's
there was a pizza that was $30. I mean, it was a pizza about that big. It's a good pizza. I had it in 2021 when they sold it by the slice, but it was Pizza Nova, and a slice was this big, $5. That was reasonable. 2021 was the most reasonable year for tickets and your food and your beverages. Well,
I've heard it from peers that that's where the food came from. It was bad. It was really
yeah.
really bad. We could talk about this all night long, guys.
Oh
Seriously,
my
because
God.
a lot of things happen. But you know, I have to get my kids ready for bed, and you also have to do that soon. Um,
Yes.
Thank you for being here, Sarah. Everybody else,
Oh,
like I
thank
said, either
you.
got busy, couldn't make it, or
Yeah.
chickened out. I'm not gonna call out names, you guys. Like, if ever you want to get on the show and talk about it, we're here to talk. It's like
Yeah.
maybe now that you've seen the episode with Sarah, we're not here to bash the festival. We're not here. Of course, I have my opinion. Amanda has her opinion.
Yeah,
you
we
know,
have opinions. We're all allowed to have them, you
but
know?
we can respect other people's opinions. You know,
Yeah.
even though she says that if you go next year, you're an idiot. I mean, have fun, idiot, because it's gonna be a blast. Um, but
Yeah.
let's just hope that people make a good decision to see, yeah, if he's gonna do anything, if they're gonna change anything, if people are gonna be safer.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you guys to go do your own research. That's for sure what I'm gonna say, because we did talk about it. But if you guys want to have your own opinion, go do your research. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You
It
can't.
is. It is literally everywhere now.
And don't forget to go follow Sarah on her page, Haunted Photography.
Please.
Uh,
Thank you.
most of you guys have seen her work with the Nix's music magazine. There we go. There's too
Yeah.
many Nix's stuff. I'm all confused all the time. But you see her work, her photography. You also do other
Portraits.
things,
Yeah, I do
portraits.
portraits and sports and stuff, but music and band concert photography is where my whole heart is. That is what I love the most.
It is a fun stuff. I did it for one show. I did it for Brewstock just for fun, with an iPhone. And I mean the 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 quality of pictures that you could get just with a phone when
I
you know
know.
a little of what you're doing, when you know the programs to use after that when you're editing. I mean it. I'm pretty impressed with iPhone pictures.
Yeah.
I definitely want to look into a camera, and just for fun when you go to concerts to do
Oh,
something
yeah.
else than just sit there. I'm too old for the mosh pit, so
Me too.
I have to start taking pictures.
That's what I do. I let everybody else enjoy the mosh, and I'm just up there head banging and taking pictures.
They're starting to scare me. They're throwing elbows and legs and stuff and punches.
I
I
know.
don't know what the new mosh pit etiquette is anymore, but
I don't either.
I
I
don't want
like
to
our
get
small
punched.
show, mosh pits. We just bump shoulders.
Yes, yes. And you push a little bit. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, there's nothing hardcore. Like Tira got dropped in the knock loose mosh pit, and she got a black eye.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, she soldiered on though. She crowd surfed Born of Osiris, Upon a Burning Body, and Knocked Loose, and she got dropped about every other time. One time she's launched.
That's the pit. That's the pit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's why I like my smaller shows. I will repeat it, say it, and repeat it. There's nothing like a small festival.
No, I love it.
Big crowds make me nervous. So
Yeah. Oh, they do me too. And 9 times out of 10, when I go to our small festivals, I know 60% of the people.
that's it. That's it. And then you get to see people. You get to talk to people. We got to talk to Mindy, Nestor, Kristen, all of Dying Oath.
I love them so much.
We got to talk to Kat from Metal Mommy Photography. So
I love Kat.
she's
I got to run
amazing.
into them for a brief moment at Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we chatted. They glamped. They had a rough time with that heat too.
Yeah, I saw. I know they were glamping. I mean, I have nothing against that if you can. I mean, enjoy the fuck out of
I'm
it.
not a camper. I'm a hotel kind of girl. I like my showers.
But nobody could avoid that heat.
No, no. The people that was charging $5 for water was, however, drenching us with cold ice rags and squirt guns upon request.
I mean, at least that.
Yeah, it
But
helped a lot.
I'd like to re-invite you on another episode, Sarah, but actually to talk about your photography and to talk
Okay.
about what you do, because you're close to the artists, and it's fun to hear you guys' experience and what you get to see and what you get to photograph, like the media experience and everything. So
Oh, yes, I'd love to come back on. It's so great. There's nothing like it.
also, you will see Sarah co-hosting a few episodes with me whenever she's available to.
Yeah.
She's bringing in some bands. We have confirmation from the band. Was it Raven messaged me? And
Waking the Sleeper.
we're going to be there on the 29th of this month at 9 p.m. Eastern. So,
Okay.
invitation to come and co-host if you can.
Thank you. Yes.
There you
I would
go.
love to. I will be here
Awesome.
for that.
Awesome. So we'll set it up. I'll make sure to message you. Well, Manda's back just in time for us to say good night.
Good
Thank you
night.
again for talking with us about it, and we'll see
Oh,
you
thank
soon,
you.
Sarah.
All right. Bye.
Good
Bye, guys.
night.
Good night.